Well, it's a Rubik's cube of race because the institution of police and law enforcement, and I will defer to uh, Mr. Hampton and Ms. Dorsey
Hmm.
because they have on the street experience. But I was a police reporter in the 80s in Richmond, and I did that for a couple of years, and I saw firsthand that it is a culture. And that a lot of times, if you're a black officer wearing the uniform and the badge, the question is not whether or not you are a black officer in uniform, but you are asked the question very often, are you black or are you blue? And that happens inside
Yeah.
squad rooms, it happens on the street. And the culture and the nature of policing is such that it is steeped in racism. It is steeped in racial division. The DNA of law enforcement has a lot of that running through it. And so if you're on the street and you have to make a decision whether or not you're going to be black or blue, it's a really tough call. And I know Officer Hampton mentioned that he tried to intervene in a beating and was disciplined for it. That to me is absolutely not a surprise. And furthermore, names like Scorpion Unit in DC, it was the Jump Squad. Uh,
That's right.
they're created
It's
to
the jump
address
squad
real
in
world
Memphis.
problems.
Mm.
Right, and they're created to address real world problems, which is crime in impoverished neighborhoods. Now, every city in America is going through this right now. DC, Philadelphia, New York, spikes in crime, spikes in homicides. Here in DC, it's carjacking. So officers and law enforcement professionals are under pressure to bring that down. So they create these units that are very aggressive. They create units that have a culture to them that are almost like street gangs with tough sounding names, aggressive names.
Right,
In
absolutely.
DC, they had tattoos, they had T-shirts. But the point is the same. The objective is still the same, to try to bring down crime. Now, we know that as educated professionals, you cannot arrest your way out of a situation like this. These are deep-seated problems that have to do with poverty, education, lack of investment in communities, and to create units like these, you're just addressing a band-aid on the solution, and you're possibly making it worse. However, if you take a big picture look at it, not only is the institution of policing inherently got racial problems, but the problems that they're addressing in communities were created in fact by racism, by
And
redlining, by
uh,
disinvestment, by marginalization. Therefore, you've got kind of this Rubik's Cube situation where one solution is not going to solve these problems, but we seem unwilling to address with a holistic solution ways to bring crime down and ways to get officers to be less aggressive and ways to overhaul policing in ways that enhance public safety, not threaten it.